Awesome.
Well, it's been almost exactly 2 years, and finally, the pandemic is dissipating. We made our choices, we learned our lessons, and it's a new dawn. And it's a new season for the year 2022, and a new time for all of us to embrace new life, new opportunities, new abundance. And while we balance our care and genuine prayer for peace in the awareness of a world that still includes unthinkable tragedy and sorrow and even war, we also are grateful for how blessed we are. And so let us use this spring of 2022 to take everything that we've learned, clear the past, and move forward in gratitude for the freedom that we have, for the blessings of our lives, for the opportunity to come together again in community, online, and yes, in person. We are all part of the awakening world, and we all have the roles that we're playing as individuals and collectively. We are the imaginal cells finding each other to create a beautiful, incredible butterfly out of the old paradigm. So welcome to spring of 2022. Welcome to the awakening world.
We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, stronger than ever, not divided. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, hear the call, you are invited. We come from the same source, a powerful love force.
Welcome, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Catamas, and this is our early Zoom Room show for the Awakening World. And I see a lot of beloved friends, and you know what to do. We've got a lot of our regulars with us. Let us know where you're from, where you're coming from geographically, who's in the Zoom room with us. And it's all about community today because this weekend we are honoring RelaxPansion, an amazing festival that, like all the festivals, had to take a break during the that COVID thing that happened, that pandemic thing. Remember that? And anyway, we're back. People are coming together, and Lloyd Barde, I got to know him. I met him just about a year ago, and he is beloved. Everybody loves this man. And it's because he's all about honoring music and the artists that create music. He has hosted over 300 concerts. He owned a record store, a famous record store, Backstreet Music. And he is all about the music, and he's bringing together his favorite artists and friends into the Relax Pansion Festival, which is happening the last weekend of June in Ashland, Oregon, and I will be there. So come, hear these great artists, meet Lloyd, and give me a hug. And since I'm speaking all about Lloyd, here he is, and I'm going to put him on camera. Hey, Lloyd.
Hello, friends and everybody, old friends and new friends.
Old friends and new friends. Day two of our weekend together. And, most of the people that are with us now probably watched our show last night. So, what's something you didn't share yet? Some little secret about your personal experience of putting RelaxPansion together.
It's the absolute dimensional joy of seeing and feeling this vision fully coming to life. And last night was a beautiful step with some key speakers and musicians, and of course, Donna DeLore, maybe my long-standingest, there's a new word, artist that I've worked with since 2004. And just to see all the moving parts moving together, and that we are creating a space, a community without sides, without walls, without barriers. And that is the dream. The vision is the combining of all these different elements to make it. Started as a 3-ring circus, but I think we might have 5 or 6 rings already. And that everyone will have a chance to move in and through many of them, or you can park yourself on a blanket right in front of the main musical stage. But the design and what's underneath it, that every person who attends is thanked and truly feels welcome.
Beautiful.
And our vision with the artists and those who are there, because we're all artists, is to dissolve the distance between the stage and the audience. That's one of them. I may share more as we come along, but that's what it's about, to do something different, where we're not in opposition. You're here, I'm here. Nope, it's a circular experience. And we navigate all the different views, all the different places you can plant yourself. And sometimes I call it the aisle of view, which if you say it fast, it's the I love you.
Oh, I love that. The I love you. I love you. Well, my community gets to meet your community this weekend, and it's all one big global peace tribe community, really. And I know that you've got a couple of special friends of yours that are going to join us for our early Zoom Room show. Do you want to introduce Michael Allen to our audience?
I do. I have a real best friend in my life, and here he is, Michael Allen. We've been, I don't know how many years, but I think it's probably close to 30, and I think it's 33 or something like that. And when I had the moment of realizing I was getting married to my beautiful partner, Deborah Wilder, we asked Michael to be our officiant. So this is a true communion, and we've been through it all, laughing ourselves silly, crying tears, watching each other move through changes. Michael, you're a great gift in my life. So to have you come and give a talk of your developing insights, your opening to the news that you receive through the many ways that you listen, that turns me on. That's one talk I'm not going to miss. So I have to put a musician on the stage during that time that I can afford to say, oh, I've seen them lots of times. This is the organics of how it all gets put together.
Well, Michael, in getting to know you, and I'm just getting to know you, a couple of things I noticed. Actually, my partner Debbie mentioned that there was a photo of you and Reverend Michael Beckwith, and I've known the Rev. I started going to Agape when we were meeting in the basement of the Miramar Hotel in Santa Monica on metal folding chairs. So I go pretty far back with Michael. He's been on this show, The Awakening World, several times. And you're also very involved with Heart Math, as well as with Agape. And so thank you for the beautiful work you do. And here's a question I want to ask you that really is up right now. With so much pain in the world, most of us are watching this war in Europe aghast. Most of us are concerned with what's happening with climate change. What are your thoughts about balancing joy of coming to a festival like RelaxPansion in a time that our world is struggling as much as it is? I have a feeling you might have something to say about that.
Wow. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, I've been with Reverend Michael since 1994, and I've been with Lloyd since 1996. I think I want to be in an awareness that the behavior of humanity has nothing to do with its potential.
Mm.
And I gotta really coach myself and direct myself to always the bigger picture, that consciousness serves all of our judgmental conditions, whether we see them as good or bad. It's all about consciousness. And I want to bring up the conversation about human beings becoming aware of their intelligence and not so much of the conditions that we continue to talk about. Human beings have the intelligence to create for each other as well as themselves. And this world can get distracted by uh, uh, an earthly trauma, a war, um, a, just a heart wrenching experience from a young child with a weapon. We are all spending a lot of time on the effects of the world and not the potential of man's mind to change the way we think and feel about ourselves and about each other. There's only one race, and I would put more intelligence and conversation on what we are capable of in terms of transformation, rather than the same old story of what happened. And that's a change in consciousness, um, and we have to all seek it out individually and collectively.
Oh, really appreciating kind of the depth of your heart. How do you manage the balance of remaining optimistic and seeing the beauty of human potential and the beauty of humanity when facing some of the horrible things that human beings are doing? How do you manage that?
Oh, a lot of ways. My vision is to be a loving presence. My vision is to have a consciousness of Christ. My vision is to use the power of the universe, the invisible power of the universe, to manifest a different experience as a human being. Um, when all the dysfunctional conversations are gone, what are you going to do? Go back to those conversations and start creating magical, mystical, amazing things on the planet, because you realize that individually we are amazing, amazing human beings, and collectively we're just off the charts incredible when we believe in something greater than our own opinions, something greater than our own selfish ways of mind. It's becoming more aware of what we are intelligently capable of, and I see that I'm the absolute experience of everything I'm talking about. I look at myself and I see, could I have been a more loving frequency? Could I have been more patient? Or before I go in this doorway, my intention is patience and unconditional love and deep listening. Or take 5 minutes and do heart math breathing. There's so many techniques in that breath work, and I'm a meditator. And I started this whole journey from being with Reverend Michael back in 1994, because he really taught me, drop your parents and focus on yourself and
Mm.
find out who you are. We definitely come from the egg and the sperm. We definitely come from that. But once we're born, that's not who we are. We are a unique expression of life. And it's unfortunate that we have to take our early learnings sometimes from parents who aren't as aware as they could be. But if you stay true to who you are and you believe in who you are, you find out who you are. You break
Yeah.
away from old patterns of what we would call dysfunction and programs that are old, outdated, and don't increase the frequency of love and appreciation and empathy and compassion for each other. Bottom line, I vote for human beings being more intelligent, not smarter, more intelligent.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for letting me go right off the bat asking you some deep questions because I know that's what our audience likes. And Lloyd has multiplied. There are now two in the box of Lloyd, including one of his very dear friends. Lloyd, do you want to introduce your friend there?
I do. Way to go, Michael.
Thank you.
Thanks for always bringing it. This is my friend Katrina, and we have known each other for some time, often in a festival atmosphere. And when this one started to show itself to me through the vision and through some experiences I was having, I got a hold of Katrina and said, I need you to be on our dream team of specific and multi-hued helpers. And they already know how to help. And we collectively create areas, positions, visions, focuses, and then ask them to meet whatever is being laid out in real time with what you wish to bring from a place of service and paying attention and keeping the highest possible visible.
Oh, beautiful. Well, welcome, Katrina. And how long have you been with Lloyd in RelaxPansion?
Well, actually, the first time I met Lloyd was at RelaxPansion in 2019, where I was so taken by his visionary approach to creating this communal atmosphere. And we then met again at Beloved Festival, where I've been a part of it from the beginning. And he asked me to help him bring the next RelaxPansion into creation. And so we've been working together. We didn't actually speak throughout the pandemic. That such an unclear time. And he reached out to me a few months ago and said that he's never forgotten me as a position holder for this beautiful RelaxPansion Festival. So I was very honored that he had thought of me all these years to continue building this dream, and hopefully we can the dream team, as he calls us, of 8 ladies, can really support him to the point where he can relax and into the unfolding of his vision out there at the festival in late June. So
Beautiful.
I really know how to pick them. Take a look at this lineup, and when you come to the gathering, the group of speakers, I call the New Thought Speakers Forum, of which Michael Allen is one of them.
So actually, while you're talking, I'll kind of just bring up some picture. Here are,
Good.
this is and to learn all about RelaxPansion, of course, watch the show tonight and also go to the website. And it's really simple. It's relaxpansion.com. And so here are your musical artists. So who are some of the people that we're looking at here?
Oh, yeah. Well, Mike Love is the headliner. That was a dream for me. And those that I've worked with ongoing for years, Elijah Ray and the Band of Light, just between you and me and everyone, no matter who I have, Elijah Ray's the headliner. That's just the space he holds. And then Simrit, she's closing out the festival Sunday night, and Donna Delory. Since 2004, we have annually created concerts and gatherings together. And Equanimous, one of the DJs, and Drum Spider and Shyla Ray, who's circling around where we are right now, and Yusufa Sidibe and Om, making a comeback from his Lost at Last and One at Last days. And it just goes on. And Max Ribner is with us here tonight, actually in our same space. And boy, have we had a good week together, really dropping in and deepening, and it goes on and on. So as the conductor, because I don't see myself as a producer, that's way too much work. But as a conductor, I get to tune in and invite and go, I want these people to present. One thing that was great for this event is those who are already on the main stage, like Pollyanna Bush and Larissa Gosla and several others, they had something they very much wanted to present in a workshop form. And so I love that lets people who are on the main stage also go into what's known as the Casbah tent at Jackson Wellsprings here in Ashland. And so you'll get at least two sides. Plus, as we dissolve the distance between the stage and the audience, it's up close and personal. And we're all on the same ground, and we're all checking out the vendors and going through the visionary art gallery, and it brings everyone together.
Beautiful.
That's really the underlying dream that we are totally manifesting.
Well, you know, it's all about community. And I see that you've got another friend of yours who just came on. Tell us about Meredith Heller. I'm adding her to our little chat here.
Oh, this is so fun to
Hi.
introduce my friends. Gosh, Meredith, while in Marin, where I lived for over 30 years, and a ways into it, my dear old friend Deborah Wilder came back into my life, and we decided immediately to get married, and we started teaching classes that were based on a famous book called Calling in the One. And we did this, I don't know, at least 35 times for 8 weeks at a time with 6 people in Marin. And in one of these classes, in walked Meredith, bringing a certain special presence. And the 8-week class, and maybe the 4th week or something, Meredith came in and she said, before we start, I have a poem I'd like to share. And nobody had socks on after that because she blew everybody's socks off. And not that long after, Meredith has created a successful, is it a career? It's a calling. She's published poetry books.
It's a life.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we're looking for. So that's how I met Meredith. And when it came time to invite people, you were one of the first people that I called. And that's how the whole thing happens in real time.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled, Lloyd, that you're bringing poetry to this event. I mean, poetry's having this renaissance. And yeah, really. And the thing is that modern contemporary poetry is so accessible to write, to listen to. It's really just about paying attention to what's here and then expressing. And for people who like aren't musicians or aren't painters or aren't even dancers, most of us have a familiarity with writing. It comes almost second nature to write, even if they don't do poetic writing. So to then ask somebody to take pencil and paper, which is this organic thing, you know, the feeling of pulling a pen across the texture of paper and being curious about what emerges and learning something about ourselves that we didn't know we knew, and yet we do. It's magic.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we've got 4 minutes.
Okay.
I've got it. Would you be willing to share a poem with us?
Sure. Now, you don't want me to do the one that I'm doing later, right?
Right. So you got to do another one, or
Okay,
do the one you're going to do later now, and think of
And
one.
do the other one later that I was going to do now. And I'm like, I'm juggling like 4, trying to figure out which one I want to do. And I'm also trying to figure out the poem I did for Lloyd that time. I think I might know which one Lloyd's talking about. So I'm going to do a different one.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is called, you know what, I'm going to do this, Scott, because you're in Nevada City at the Yuba River. And I wrote this at the Yuba River last summer.
Okay.
And it's called Huntress of the Holy Sound. I sat by the river and I listened to the water. She was singing about forgiveness. She was singing about hunger. She was singing a song of sunlight as my body rolled under. I asked the rocks and I asked the water what to do about my hunger while I chewed on rinds of anger by the mouth of the river. She sat down beside me, touched my body with her fingers. Shake out your bones, you wild creature. Shake out your bones, you wild dancer. Gather and empty your blood of what aches, and the moon will make her honey in the dark from your mistakes. I sat by the river and I listened to the water, and her waves washed me over like the hands of the mother. I came clean to her gospel. I came hard to her thunder, and her waves washed me over as my body rolled under. Let go your worries, lay your body down here at the river where the earth is hallowed ground. Let go your worries, lay your body down. The music of the water will unwind what is bound. Light a flame for forgiveness, light a flame for truth. Claim your worthiness for love, grow into your youth. Come home to the river, home to this sacred sound where the water sings your name in the secret language that you found. There are circles on the water playing prism with the light. There are rocks carved with faces who tell your fortune in the night. She will wrap you in her rapture, share her pocket's treasures deep, and your tears will turn to temples in the healing of her heat. She'll sing a song of forgiveness in a hard-earned melody, and her music will absolve you of every hurtful deed. Whisper your prayers to the water, moan your desire to the moon, turn your wisdom into soil, seeds to plant, seeds to bloom.
Wow, that was wonderful, huh? Wow, beautiful. You know how to pick 'em, Lloyd.
Well, I'll tell you, and I remember you dancing on the Sunday morning Sweat Your Prayers in Sausalito. And you were
I've been
creating
that's what your prayers.
in your
Right.
movements, and you were inward in your dance.
Mm, very much.
Pollyanna used to be there also.